Welcome back to International Friends of Nature Summer Camp, everyone. Hope you all had a good rest. Excellencies, distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to all of you. We are delighted to welcome all of you to Day 3 of International Friends of Nature Summer Camp 2024. I am Balkis Nur Najiah, your MC for the event today. Before we proceed, have a few housekeeping notes with some details of our program today. Please make sure your microphones are muted while the program is ongoing. If you have any questions during the program, you are allowed to turn it on, or just leave your inquiries on the chat box during the Q&A session. All participants are encouraged to turn on your cameras during the program. Please remember to switch your layout on the top right corner of your screen to the grid layout. You are encouraged to give your reactions during the program using the emojis at the bottom of your screen. Lastly, please remember to fill in the attendance form provided at the end of this session in order to receive your e-certificate. To bless our ceremony this afternoon, please welcome Ahmad Shurafi Hussaini to recite the prayer.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma innaka khalaqul azim, innaka sami'un alim, innaka ghafurur rahim, innaka rabbul arsyil azim, innaka barul jawarul karim. Ya Allah ya Rahim, praise be to God, the Lord of the world. Peace and blessing be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions, and for those who follow his example till the judgment day. Allahumma ya Allah, on this blessed morning, in conjunction with International Friend of Nature Summer Camp 2024, IFNSC 2024, we beseech thee the grateful towards you in favor of all the infinite blessing to us, your humble servant, to live in safe and prosperous life. We seek your blessing for a flawless progress of this event from the beginning till the end. We seek your guidance to steer clear of events that would detrimental the progress of this event. Ya Latif, Ya Rahman, please bless us with your tawfiq and hidayah. Please guide University Technology Mara, UiTM, to greatness, peace, glory, and prosperity in this world and the hereafter. Make us a responsible intellectual, granted us with a valuable knowledge that will be beneficial to mankind to gain your mardatillah. Make us your righteous servant that follow your command and neglect the sinful act. Please forgive us for our wrongdoing. Ya Munzil al-Barakat, bestow peace to our beloved country, Malaysia. Preserve us from any threat and disaster, neither man-made nor natural disaster. And to you, Ya Allah, we ask for security and prosperity upon us, our leaders, and our country. Bestow patience in us to face the challenge from you. Please accept our deed and please reward us accordingly. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أبنا وإليك المصير. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin Amin Ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Shurafi, for reciting the prayer just now. Now, allow me to briefly share the essence and structure of the IFNSC 2024. This event comprises 6 enriching days of activities, including 5 webinars and a final forum that provide valuable insights and practical solutions to critical environmental challenges. The program covers the following key topics: circular economy, exploring innovative solutions for environmental challenges and waste management; occupational safety and health, or for environment, highlighting the intersection of workplace safety and environmental care; scheduled waste management, addressing sustainable approaches to hazardous and electronic waste; industrial effluent treatment system, analyzing advanced wastewater treatment technologies and their global applications; air pollution crisis, examining strategies to mitigate air pollution and its impacts; and forum, shaping the future, the direct and significance of competent professionals in Malaysia. So for today's session, we will have 2 sessions, which is session 1, towards sustainable scheduled waste management, practical approaches and policies by Mr. Norimin, Managing Director of Greenvell M. Sendirian Berhad, and session 2, e-waste recovery and management, processes and environmental impact by Madam Rose Kwan, Director of Shan Purna Metal Sendirian Berhad. Ladies and gentlemen, our theme of webinar for today is Scheduled Waste Management, with the topic of Towards Sustainable Scheduled Waste Management, Practical Approaches and Policies by Mr. Norimin, Managing Director from Greenvell M. Sendirian Berhad. Please be ready for this session. Here is the biography of Mr. Norimin. He is a seasoned professional with extensive experience in training, consultancy, and environmental management at Greenvell M. Sdn Bhd. He trained over 400 clients, improving safety standards and regulatory compliance. As Business Development Manager at Amayos Resources Sendirian Berhad, he led a team to deliver high-quality HSE services and conducted training needs analysis. His tenure as an environmental engineer at Indah Water Consortium Sendirian Berhad saw him implementing sustainable solutions that reduced energy consumption by 2% and client complaints by 13%. Additionally, he served as an environmental control officer at the Department of Environment Selangor. Before we begin, friendly reminder, if anyone has any questions, you may directly ask our guest speaker, or you may leave your questions in the chat box during the Q&A session. Kindly remember to mute your microphone during the presentation to avoid any interruptions. Without further ado, please welcome Mr. Norimin, and the floor is yours.
Assalamualaikum and very good evening to everyone. Am I clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Right. First of all, thank you for Miss MC, and allow me to give a special thank to Secretariat of this international seminar for giving me an opportunity to share with you guys during this evening. I know this is a quite hard time on the evening Sunday, but anyway, congratulations for those who managed to participate in this event. Inshallah, I'm given 1.5 hour to share with you, so I'm not going to. I try to make it within the given time, right? So without further delay, I'm going to share my slide over here. Let me share. Okay, can you see it clearly? All right.
Yeah, can.
Okay. My topic for today is towards sustainable scheduled waste management, more on the practical approach and the policies that have been embarked by industrial player in Malaysia. I believe that for the past 2 days, we have go through, I think on the day one, we have some session on the environmental. Yesterday is more on the safety, and some of the panel has touched on this, especially on the circular economy. But for today, I'm going to explain a little bit on this available resources on the recovery and the other option, which has been imposed by some of the industrial player. Okay, so I have an offer for you who attended this session today. The offer is like this. For the first 3 questions, okay, for the first 3 questions, any one of you that raise up a question, the first 3, you will entitled to claim 1 day scheduled waste management cost in year 2005, which is organized by Greenvell. Okay, so only 3, only 3. The first 3 only. So you can ask the question over the mic, or you can wait until the Q&A session. Just drop in the chat box. Okay. Okay, let me start. Okay, we have key agenda for the today. Looks like a long list, but I will be focusing on the blue one. Okay, first I will talk about what is sustainability and overview of the schedule waste management in Malaysia, and little bit on the legal framework for the schedule waste management. Because when we talk about the sustainability in Malaysia, it must be supported by the legal framework. Unless otherwise, the sustainability program will not be going well. So we need the support in terms of legal framework to make sure that our sustainability program is achieving the goals. All right. After that, we will touch on the latest policies. This one I will talk about policy which relating to the DOE, because our industry player in Malaysia mostly they are referring to the DOE also, right? Okay, and then our main topic, I will talk about the practical approach by the industrial player in Malaysia, how they take an action, take a move towards this sustainability in terms of schedule waste management. Okay, and a little bit on the recoverable waste, because when we talk about the sustainability on the schedule waste, one of the option that popular. Okay, there are so many options in terms of sustainability, but the popular one is more on the resource of recovery. Okay. Okay. After that, we will see a little bit on the how to determine this recoverable waste. Okay, and example some of the recoverable waste in the Malaysia industry, especially. And lastly, we will talk a little bit on the benefit of the sustainability on the schedule waste management. Okay, what is the sustainability? Okay, I think this is bread and butter for you guys. So in short, the sustainability, it will refers to the meeting present needs without compromising future generation. So whatever we are doing right now, it will impact our future generation. If you give a good things to the environment, especially, you will receive a good one in your life. Okay, it's like something that whatever you give back to nature, it will always come back to you. So if you don't take any action at our place and time right now, our future generation, our kids, our granddaughter, grandson, maybe they will not validate whatever that we have today. Okay, and there are three principles that incorporated with this sustainability. One is the environmental protection, which is what we are going to explore today. The another one is the in terms of economic viability and the social equity. Yeah. Okay. Why the sustainability in the schedule waste management is important? Eh? All right. Okay. I think we have one question over there, but I will answer it at the end of the session. Okay, because you are putting the chat. Nice try. So you are the first one, right? Okay. Okay. The sustainability in schedule waste management is essential for us to minimize the impact on the environmental. Because when we talk about the schedule waste, the definition of the schedule waste itself is already give us some clue. The schedule waste mean hazardous waste. That's mean it's exhibit the hazardous characteristic like corrosivity in terms of toxicity, so on. So if we are fail to manage it properly, of course, it will end up in the ecosystem, in the environment, and it will can cause harm to the environment. So another part of the sustainability is to optimizing the resources. Okay, and this is the very important part because nowadays, when it comes to the industry, it always one. I'm not saying it always now, but the key factor that always pop up in the industry is about dollar and cents. Okay, you can do whatever, you can have whatever technologies, whatever facilities, but it always end up with either you um, can make it or not. Okay, in terms of dollar and cents. Some of the company they have a strong budget, like multinational company. The big company, I don't think they have a problem when we are approaching them to step into the sustainability program. But the major problem will come to the small company, small industry like SME, because sometimes they don't have a budget. I'm not saying they don't have, because when come to the penalty by the authority, they always have a money to uh, to pay. So the word sentence is they don't allocate, do not willing to allocate a certain budget for the benefit of the environment. That's one of the challenge that we as industrial practitioner and also in the consultant view, that's one of the major, can be considered a major problem and a big challenge to industry. Okay, but however, let's not put it in the excuse. Okay, because in the long-term benefits, if industry can see in the long term benefit to them, for sure they will seriously look into this sustainability program. Right. The importance of sustainability, the number one is to protect the environment, of course, by proper in terms of scheduled waste management, we can prevent contamination to the soil, water, air, and also to the community itself. The second part, to reduce the carbon footprint through better waste handling and recycling practice. I see that nowadays people are focusing on the carbon footprint. There is exchange of the value in there, but I cannot see that when come to the scheduled waste management, it's not so so good compared to the other item. This is another thing that we can see in future, and also to preserve our ecosystem by minimizing the harmful or hazardous disposal method by illegal dumping. And I can say that even we have an authority to enforce on this illegal activity by the people out there, and awareness campaign is also out there by the authority and also by you guys as Rakan Alam Sekitar. In fact, we have a lot of program, but we still have this kind of illegal activities happen in our country. If you look at the news, almost every month we have an illegal dumping or illegal activity which is related to the scheduled waste. Okay, but anyway, compared to the last 10 years when I'm with DOE last time, now is better. Okay, in terms of control, authorities have made their very best effort to control, right? And now it's up to the industry itself, either to make it our planet, our Malaysia is free from any illegal activities, especially on the hazardous substance. Okay, The second part is to enhance regulatory compliance. And with the amendment on this new EQA 1974, I think some of you are aware about it. On the July this year, we have an amendment. So we can see the increase in terms of fines and the penalties, especially on the shared waste management. I think later in my slide, I will highlight about it a little bit. Okay, economic benefit. Okay, of course, when we talk about the economical factor, this is the thing that one of the factor which industry are interested in. Either they can reduce the budget or reduce the money that they spend to for disposal of the shared waste or not. I can say yes, actually, when we embark into the sustainability program, okay, approaching like recovery resources, food processing, circular economy, of course, there is some saving in terms of expenses to the disposal. Later on, I will talk about it later in this slide also. Okay, number 4 is promoting health and safety. We have seen that there are a few cases which are related to the mismanagement of the hazardous waste. If we are not properly managed in terms of health and safety, the impact to the human, okay, some of workers from, we can see also from our previous speaker yesterday on the OSHA, right? They have shared a lot of incident happen, which is related to the chemicals. And when come to the chemicals, it will end up with the hazardous waste also. Okay, so chemical will be controlled by the DOSH, Department of Safety and Health. But after we use the chemical, if there is a residue or any leftover, the chemicals, it will become the scheduled waste. Okay, so more or less, the way we are handling the chemicals or this hazardous substance is almost same. Okay, and last but not least, of course, we want to align with the national and the global sustainability goals. In Malaysia, we have also our own agenda in the sustainability. Okay, I believe on the day one, DOE has presented our national goals. So I'm not going to repeat it again. Okay, just a view, just a glance view of the scheduled waste management in Malaysia. The scheduled waste is actually a hazardous waste that listed under the first schedule and the Environmental Quality Scheduled Waste Regulation 2005. Okay, I think you are aware about this. And of course, when they are listed, the reason they are listed because of their hazardous characteristic. Okay, there are some of waste which is reactive, okay, ignitable, corrosive, infectious, and toxic. We have some acronym here, REACH or CHIRIT, just for our easy remember, right? When we talk about the hazardous characteristic, a lot more that need to be understand on this. In fact, we have some research ongoing by the universities, and also you guys as a student, I believe you have a large opportunity to explore on this hazardous characteristic. Okay, there are 5 groups in the first schedule, which comprises of 77 type of waste. Okay, and the waste is grouped into the principal composition, like metal and metal bearing waste for the SW1. For example, we have 102, 103 for the batteries, which contain lead, lithium, nickel, cadmium. Okay, and also the e-waste, okay, 110. The principal is the metal. Okay. The second group is SW2, something at the 201, 202, 203, principally inorganic. For example, we have 206 for the spent inorganic acid, hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, which has been used quite intensively in our industry in Malaysia. For SW3, principally organic, this one is the biggest group, and the biggest numbers of put in this among the 5 group. We have 30 over waste under this SW3, and the popular one like 305, 306 for the spent lubricant, spent hydraulic. We have also 322, 323 for the spent solvent, okay, and the oily sludge 3 something from the petroleum industries. For the group 4 is either inorganic or organic, depend on the contamination. For example, we have SW410, contaminated rats, contaminated glove. So depend on the contamination. Is if the glove if contaminated with the inorganic compound, then it will become inorganic, and the same glove when it's contaminated with the organic compound, it will become organic. Okay, so the last one is SW5. We have only one code over here is 501. Okay, 501, which is residue from any treatment or recovery process. Because when we go through this recovery process, we need to understand that not 100% of the waste can be recovered. Okay, maybe the recovery rate about 30%, okay, 60%. For example, like for spent lube oil or spent engine oil, it's already reached up to 95%. One of the waste receiver claim now they can achieve up to 95% in terms of recoverable material on the spent engine oil. That they use it as a base oil or the fuel oil. Okay. Okay, this is the common shredder waste in the industry. The reason I put it here because this is one of the waste that can be recovered. Okay, something like 305, 306, and 307, like spent lubricant or hydraulic oil, and some oil water emulsion waste also can be recovered. Okay. Another one is disposed containers. Also got a lot of in terms of volume in the industry. Okay, like contaminated drums, okay, with the chemicals. When we purchase chemicals like acid, solvent, everything from the supplier, it will be supplied to us, and when we use it, okay, after a certain time, the drum will become empty and contaminated. It cannot be disposed as normal waste. Because of the contamination, it will become a shadow waste. Here, we have an option over here, whereby instead of dispose as shadow waste, why not we do something like send it back to the supplier, okay? Because supplier they might reuse it, okay? Might reuse the same drums to refill back the chemicals that they are supplying. That one I will cover a little bit on the take back program. Not only for the drum, actually, the take back program is not mean for the contaminated drums only, but what And I see from the industry right now, for 409, they start to look into this option. Okay? So it's a very good approach by the industry to minimize the generation of the scheduled waste. Okay, 204. This is one of the largest waste generated in Malaysia. Okay, sludge containing one or several metals, including chromium, copper, nickel, zinc, etc. For example, we have sludge from wastewater treatment plant. Okay, we have a lot of wastewater treatment plant in industry. So the sludge in terms of volume is quite high. Okay, and I can say that the major expenses when it comes to the disposal, mostly coming from this 204. Okay, another waste that quite heavy also in the industry is 401. Okay, something like contaminated rags or contaminated glove. It can be any glove, not strict to the rubber glove or cotton glove. Okay, any contaminated rags or glove, regardless of their type of material. Okay, 322 or 323. This one also one of the main scheduled waste generated in our country, because we are using a lot of solvent in our industry. When it comes to the product manufacturing, we have acetone, methyl chloride, or else we have IPA. The IPA, I think, one of the biggest solvent that has been used in our country. Okay. Another part is 102, waste of lead acid batteries, and also 103, waste of batteries containing cadmium, nickel, mercury, or lithium. So now we are facing another issue on this battery, because we have EV cars are coming in, electric vehicle are coming in, and there is a jump in term of usage of the EV battery, because EV battery mostly they contain lithium. Okay? That's why for the EV battery also can be considered as a hazardous waste also. We can put it under 103. Okay? We have lithium over here. So this is the hazardous substance that exists in the EV. Yeah? Okay, and don't forget 110. Okay, 110 is one of the big issue. Got a lot of issue in 110 because when come to the recovery of the waste, 110 is one of the waste that recycler out there are interested to invest. Because in e-waste they got precious metal, like gold, copper, aluminium, palladium, which has in terms of demand. In terms of demand in the industry is very high. So that's why some of the cases they import the e-waste from the outside of the Malaysia, import and try to recover it here. But the bad thing is they didn't follow the requirement that's set by the DOE. Some of them they don't have any even a license. Illegal processing of the e-waste. When it comes to the illegal, we can estimate that on the hazardous part of the e-waste, where it goes. How to tackle this one? If illegally, I mean, if licensed by the DOE, on the hazardous part, they need to properly manage. Do some treatment and then put it in the safer mode before it will dispose to these facilities like treatment and available facilities in Malaysia, like Kuala Alam or GNT Pejaya, because DOE can control. But when come to the illegal, then nobody's know. Even the existence of this company, we don't know. Okay. I believe later on the next session, we have Shampundam that will explain more on this e-waste. Okay, sedikit bit more on this legal framework. Okay, we have enhancement of the legal framework. We have EQA, right? This is the act which is mainly to control the source of the pollution. Okay, and inside also got the waste management, something like environmental quality, Shadow Waste Regulation 2005 over here. This is specific regulation pertaining to the shadow waste. Okay, I think we will have another revision because 2005 is quite old. Now it's already 2024, and and another next year it will be 2025, almost 20 years already. So I'm expecting some revision on our regulation. Okay. So I have another 30 minutes. Oh, all right. I supposed to finish at 3:30, right? So now you expected me to finish at 3, right? It's okay. Can, no problem. Okay, let's speed up. This is the enhancement in terms of legal framework. We can see that there is enhancement in terms of increase in fine for 34B. Instead of 500,000 before this, now come up to 10 million. Okay, that's a great in terms of increasing. For 49A, this is the requirement for the competent person, also increase in the fine. Before this is 10,000. Now it shooting up to 250,000. From 10,000 to 250,000 is a huge, for me, it's a huge increase. Okay, and this is the opportunity for all the students. Okay, because when you, student, environmental student, when you graduate, the opportunity is there. Okay, before this, maybe company are reluctant to have environmental officer or even the competent person in the company, because the fine is about 10,000 only. Okay, but now you see the fine increase up to 250,000. This is, for me, I see it is opportunity for the student, because when you graduate, sure, later on, sure, there will be a lot more opportunity for you in the industry. Also in the environmental compound also increase, okay, from the 2,000 minimum. I can see that the minimum now is about 5,000. And also there is a changes on the licensing compliance for the contractors, okay, in terms of EIA requirement and also in terms of license condition. Okay, you can see over here, even this is about 2025 already, but still, you can see that almost every month we have an issue on this schedule waste now. Okay, and this is another enhancement by the authority. They start implementing the schedule waste analysis, because this is good. When we talk about recovery, it always incorporate with this data analysis. Okay, as I said before, in order for us to identify which waste can be recycled or not, one of the factor is the waste composition. So without doing this waste composition, industry out there, how come they know that their waste can be recovered or not? Okay. Okay, this is the latest policies supporting the sustainability. Okay, last few years we have this principle cradle to grave, okay, and principle cradle to cradle. Now we have a circular economy. More or less, the concept is about the similar concept, okay, but with a new approach. Now we are talking about cradle to cradle of the circular economy to reduce the waste by putting up the waste minimization program. Okay. Also on the recovery and recycling and treatment and disposal itself. When we talk about treatment and disposal, nowadays we can see that treatment in terms of technologies are expanding. Okay, even from the 77 lists in the first schedule on the schedule waste, I can say about 30 to 40% of it can be recovered, but the rest it cannot be recovered. Okay, so for the rest and cannot be recovered, we need to send it back the treatment facilities. So we need also to look into the available treatment and disposal facilities in terms of enhancement of the technologies to reduce or to remove the toxic or the hazardous component in our schedule waste. Okay. Okay. Another policies we call extended producer responsibility or EPR. In here we have take back scheme, which is quite popular among the industry. Okay, and but these policies, okay, rather than policies, it also need special approval from the DOE. If you have any project, any proposal to reduce, yes, it's good. You have the technology, you have the knowledge in terms of resources recovery, but it must be incorporated with the legal requirement itself. So whatever we want to do in our premises, and we talk about the recovery, okay, you need to check with the authority also. I have a case before that. This company, they want to do the treatment process, something like a recovery of the rare earth element from the waste. Even though in the requirement they say that there is no licensing requirement required when come to the on-site treatment or recovery, but DOE need to know the exact process that you want to do. Okay, you need to apply to the DOE because DOE need to evaluate the effectiveness of the technology. Okay. Okay, this is an example. We have an ink cartridge. Before this, we can most of the industry dispose it as a 409, okay, because of the contamination. But now they have an option rather than to dispose. They also can join the take back program, whereby they can discuss with the supplier to collect back. Okay, like IBC tank, drums. Because this, when they supply the chemical, of course they can take it back and do it for the refill. Okay, so this is a good approach by the industry also, but not many of industry are aware about this approach. Okay. We have also co-processing, whereby some of the waste, like SW204, 104, 104 is about dross or slag coming from the smelting or metals processing plant. Okay. 204 is sludge, okay, contain heavy metal. 406, like slag from this incinerator. Before this industry, they need to dispose as a scheduled waste, so send to the treatment facilities. But now we have an option. Okay, rather than send it to the treatment and disposal facilities, we can send it to the cement industry. Okay, because cement industry might use this kind of waste as their product. Okay, then there is a list of cement factories that already have, the DOE approval. About 9 of them. Ini I screenshot a few of them. In Pahang, we have Pahang Cement, Perak, Hanjong, and Tasik Corporation, whereby industry now they have an option to send their waste to these facilities. We can see that there is a huge also in terms of saving, rather than one of the company, for example, 1 month they need to spend about 1,000 ringgit per month just to dispose their 204 to the treatment facilities. But now they have an option whereby they can save about 80% of their costs. Okay, from 800 a month, now it becomes 20,000 a month. So that's a very a great saving, about 80%. So this is another option for the industry that can look into. But again, not many of them know about the option. Maybe lack of knowledge, lack of awareness. Okay, and we also have a guideline for the special management. I think we have another 15 minutes. MC, okay, 15. Okay, I proceed. Under special management, like sludge from the food industries. Some of the industries, like food industries, they don't have this kind of heavy metal in their waste. For example, chocolate. If you detect some heavy metal in the sludge, that means something wrong in their process. Any one of you that would like to eat chocolate with a plum bomb or mercury inside? Of course not, right? So that's why industry like the from food industries or other industries, when they do the waste analysis, from there they can analyze, they can know either they have sludge with this hazardous substance or not. Okay, so it's very crucial we do this WAC. Okay, I think I see a lot of questions, so I will speed up my presentation to focus on the question. So this is a practical approach by the industry. Some of them, by adopting cleaner production, by substitute the toxic raw material with the safer alternative. Okay, for example, like cyanide. Previous years, industry in the metal or recovery processing, they are using arsenic or cyanide to recover some of the metal. But now they are, rather than using the cyanide, they are replacing with another substance, which also can have a same result with cyanide. Okay, that's the way we can control or minimize the generation of the waste. And at the source also, we can have a proper waste segregation, right? Segregate between the general waste and the scheduled waste first. Okay, because when we go to the small industry, for them, waste is just waste. There is no difference between scheduled waste and the general waste for them, because of lack of knowledge, everything. For them, waste is just waste. So why don't I just put in the basket and then call somebody to dispose? But now, when they have awareness on this, now industry are start segregating their waste, differentiate between general waste and also the hazardous. Okay, and come to the hazardous waste also, it need also to segregate between the which is the waste can go for recovery, which is the waste can go for the treatment. Okay, so by doing this, we can reduce the volume of the waste that being generated. Okay, for example, we have code 422 for mixture of scheduled waste and the non-scheduled waste, like this picture, right? Actually, if we can segregate, otherwise, if you mix up together all these steel, okay, you don't segregate with the contamination. It still can be, if there is no contamination, you always can go to the scrap and dispose. But due to the contamination, it will become a scheduled waste. So the first thing first, when come to the industry, is the segregation process. It's very crucial to separate all these waste accordingly. Okay, the third one is looking for the opportunity to have this recovery. Okay, we have 305, 306 here, and also the core processing. Okay, in the cement, like I told before. Okay, okay, let's speed up implementation of circular economy. This is one of the new cases that I find in the Sarawak. One of the company, they have stockpile of this slag from the smelting plant. It's about 10 metric ton. So they get a special approval from the DOE. Now they are using the slag as a pavement in the plantation, okay? Rather than to dispose as a scheduled waste. By doing some research on this R&D, they can use it as pavement in the plantation industry. And another option, we can also look into the on-site waste management for those waste like SC alkaline, that we can use it small scale for neutralization, rather than all the acid waste or alkaline waste, you send it to the contractors. You can invest also in doing your own site waste management. But this one also require some approval from DOE. Another one is training. Okay, in terms of training, I think we have a lot of training seminars like that we have today. So industry also need to look into this, okay, and make sure that all the employees are well trained. Collaboration on take back program. So I have mentioned before. Okay. Right. Eco labeling and certification. Okay. We have ISO 19001. Now SDG, everything. It also give a booster for in the industry. Okay. Rather than legal compliance. Okay. But all the certification also can become a booster for them to look into the waste optimization. And last, we also implement the inventory management, just in time inventory system, whereby not to ordering too much chemicals, but end up with an expired one, and it will become the schedule mess. Okay, I have another 10 minutes, I think. So how to determine the recoverable waste in a easy way? Because TOE already have system that can be used by the waste generator in deciding which type of waste that suitable for the recovery. Even if you don't conduct the analysis at the first place, you also can do some due diligence, okay, at the first place. from the waste that you have. Okay, you just need to do some analysis on the whatever data that already provided by the DOE. Okay, for example, first you can refer to the first schedule on the environmental quality service regulation to look into the 77. Okay, some knowledge you need to know that mostly there are three types of waste that can be potential have the recovery. One is the metal base. So metal base is the waste that listed in the group 1. Okay? If you can see over here, for example, waste containing arsenic or its compound. Maybe you don't interested on the arsenic. Okay, but over here we have a lead. Okay, lead is one of the metal that have good demand in industry. Waste of lead acid batteries. If we can recover back the lead, and then there is some what we call the saving for the waste generator and also for the waste receiver. When they acquire the lead, they can sell it back as a raw material. Over here 104 or 110. Okay, by looking at the first schedule, from there you also at the first place you can do some early assumption. Wow, my waste I have this kind of 110. That means it have a metal base. So metal can be recovered. Okay, from there you can start searching for the available technique, available resources. Okay. Another waste that can be recovered also for the solvent base and oil base. Okay, most of them in this group 3. Group 3 organic compound. So when we do some searching in the first schedule, the second step is you need to do this analysis. Okay, to look into the which component that can be prone for the recovery. Like this example, analysis for the SW305 being carried out. From here, we can maybe for the oil, mostly we are looking at the water content. If the water content is too high, then it will reduce the value of the oil itself. Okay? Rather than contractors are willing to buy from you, but after doing some analysis, they find out there is a lot of water content inside. Where can I buy it? Okay, so there is no way for you. So that's why from the beginning, segregation is the most important part. Segregate everything. Don't mix the waste like oil. You mix with the coolant, mix with the solvent and any substance online, which can reduce the value of the waste. Okay, and for the contractors also they need to do some analysis on the WAC with a certain criteria, which can be compared to make a comparison with the waste generator characteristic. Okay, for example, we have for waste generator, they will conduct waste characteristic analysis. Okay, after analysis, we can have lab result. Okay, the certificate of analysis. There is a certain amount, the certain data over here. Let's say if you want to recover some cadmium, say the cadmium reading should be higher. Okay, and for waste contractor part, at the same time they will conduct a waste and certain criteria whereby they will set a limit. Okay, the minimum and the maximum limit that they can receive, which is viable for them to carry out the recovery. Okay, for example, let's say the cadmium you have over here is 300, okay, 300 milligram per liter, or 300 is too small. Let's say you have 20,000 milligram per liter of cadmium, and waste contractor they will set their parameters here. Let's say they said the minimum they can recover only, okay, if the minimum percentage of the minimum quantity here about 25,000 to 100,000. So now, if the waste generator have the cadmium with 20,000, so they cannot accept the waste, okay? Because it is below the minimum limit that set by the waste receiver. Okay, thank you, Balkis. I have 5 minutes more. I think it's okay. I can finish it. All right. The third, when you already do the analysis, okay. Now it's time for you to find which contractor that can take your waste lah. Okay. From the eSwiss itself, okay, from the eSwiss data that already provided by the DOE, we can do some filtering over here. So the word like pemerolehan, it refers to the recovery. So you can filter over here which facilities in Malaysia that doing offsite recovery. So the eSwiss will list all of them. Okay, from here you can see what type of waste, what food that can be recovered. Okay, shortcut, right? So you can call all of these contractors. Even you can also filter by district or by state. If you are operating in Selangor, for example, you can filter which facilities in Selangor that can carry out the recovery process. Okay, so just search and the list is already here. So what they need to do is just contact all these recycler or all these licensed facilities, give them the analysis, okay, the result analysis, let them decide whether they can go for the recovery or not. Okay, if you are lucky, some of the waste you don't have to pay. Okay, even they are willing to buy it from you. Okay. Yes, Izati, you raise your hand. You want to speak up?
Hi, sir. I have one question.
Okay.
When it comes to industry, as you mentioned before, right, we have a lot of industries in Malaysia. So my concern is for SME. How can an SME company adopt sustainable schedule waste practices on a limited budget?
Okay. First, we need to look into the legal framework first, because our legal framework doesn't doesn't limit in terms of type of facilities, right? Even you are small one or the big one, we are adopting the same legal compliance. Okay? Because in our legal, it says that every waste generator, they need to comply with all the regulations stated. So even if they are small company, of course, they also need to be comply with all these regulation. Yes, I agree with you in terms of budgeting, but they need to start from somewhere. Okay, they need to allocate certain budget. Okay, when small company, of course, they don't have a lot of waste. That's a small one. Okay, just to educate them to put aside a budget. Because they already have a budget. Okay? For safety, they have a budget. For environment, they have a budget. The thing is that the budget has not been allocated. When DOE comes, the authority come and give you a finding, like say compound 200, 2,000, 8,000, then they always can pay. Okay, so what I'm saying that the budget is there, but it's not been allocated. So we need to at the one place is to educate, and another view is by doing the stick lah. That one is authorities work. So we as a consultant, as from the universities, as a public, we need to educate them. Even though you are a small company, but you need to look into this action also. And what I'm saying, what I'm sharing here is one of the option. Well, because not all the ways you need to pay. This is the one of stigma that been pop up in almost industry. When they have a scheduled waste, then they need to pay. Right, but they don't know that actually there are some ways that even if they need to pay, but with the less compared to the another ways. Okay, and some of the ways you don't need to pay. Okay, contractors are willing to buy from you. It's a matter of either your waste it got a value on that. So what I'm doing here is determining the recoverable waste. This is one of the way to know that our waste got some value. There is another, but I think I'm like let me finish first, and then we go to the Q&A. Okay, from the e-waste also we can select which contractor that available. From here we can start. Even you have small company, just give them a call, invite them to evaluate your waste. Okay, and if they can put out some proposal, even they can offer the lower rate compared to the treatment and disposal facilities, and some of them are willing to buy. Okay. And the rest is just to check on the available technology. This one is on the waste receiver part. Okay, this is the example of the some of the waste that being recoverable mostly in Malaysia. Okay, if you look into this waste, this is a common waste that almost industry have. Okay, so the opportunity is not limited to the big company, but also available for the small one, because they are generating the same waste. 305, 104, 110, 202 might this one is quite rare, but like 305, 306, 104, 110, 322, 323 is quite common. Quite common. Okay. This is example of the some of the recoverable material that we can recover from. I think the title is not correct here. This is the example of the scheduled waste that can be recovered. Okay, sorry, my mistake here. Okay, and this is the example of recovered material. From the waste that we highlighted up there, this is the list. There are a large of is that we can recover something like aluminum ingots, okay, bales, ballets, which has in terms of value, it can be substitute the raw material. If you can take a look at the gold. Last time when we did gold or aluminium, we need to go to the mining to purchase or to acquire. But now, rather than go for mining, which also can cause environmental impact, now we have another option, which is less impact compared to the mining activity. You can always go to these recovery facilities and look into this alternative raw material. Okay. And the key factor, of course, is the challenge when it comes to the recovery. Okay. Not always can be simply recovered. One of the factor is to look into the waste composition itself. Either it has a high concentration or not. Okay. If you want to recover gold, and then you need to know how many % of the gold in the waste. If there is a 2 minimum, then it's not viable to do this recovery. Also to look into the purity. That's why at the first place, the segregation process is very important, because we don't want any contamination that can reduce the value of the waste. And then the availability of the technologies. Okay, this is expanding from year to year, and we are expecting a lot more technologies are coming in, which can help us to reduce the cost and also to increase in terms of recovery rate. Okay, and we also need to look into the economic viability. If the recovery process is too high, and then it might be not may not will not become the selective option. Right? And when it comes to the dollar and cents, the demand for the recovered material is also need to be considered. Okay, if there is a demand, then we can work into this option. Something metals like metals, e-waste, we have good demand. We have aluminium, copper, good demand in the market. And lastly, and but not least, we need also the policy and the incentive set by the government itself, maybe in terms of subsidize on the tax. Okay, and also maybe government can put out some initial to bear initial cost of this recovery technologies. Okay, something like positive effort. Okay, to the waste generator and also to the waste receiver as a recycler on conduct the recovery process. So benefit, this one is also has been discussed. And last, one of example when come to this dollar and cents. For example, if you have 3 or 5 spent lubricating oil with the same quantity, most of the industry which are not aware about this option of recovery or sustainability, they always have in mind that, I need to pay. Okay, they need to pay 1,800 for this 1,000 liter of IBC tank. This is, for example, this is the minimum. Maybe it might be higher. But for those companies that are already aware about this option, they will look into the recovery facilities, whereby same waste, okay, with the same quantity, with the same composition, waste generator or waste receiver are willing to buy. The market price about 60 cents per liter, which is okay. Rather than you pay 1,800, now you can get extra 600. Okay, waste to money. Yeah. So I think that's all I can share with you with this limitation time. And if you have any question that you'd like to ask in future, you can always reach me at this email address and my contact number over here. Okay, I think can we go for Q&A? I will check the.
Yeah. So thank you, Mr. Norimin, for sharing just now. Now we will continue with Q&A session. We have several questions here, but we will select only one. So got question, what is classification for sand or soil contaminated with diesel? In example, SW408 or SW312. Is this classification is also depend or related to authorized collector?
Okay, when as I said before, not all waste that can be go for the recovery. So I think can I share back my slide over here? There is a slide. Okay, this is the key factor that we can look into. Like 408, soil contaminated with the diesel, everything. Mostly, not so many facilities are interested in when it comes to the recovery. Okay, maybe because of the waste composition. And for me, I'm looking into the demand. Okay, so when the soil is contaminated with diesel, for example, you need to look into the contamination level. Okay, of course, yes, diesel is one of the type of solvent that we can recover back. Yes, we can do some recovery on that, but there is a demand out there for this contaminated diesel. Okay, if you can check onto the East-West 408, not many contractors are willing to do that. Okay, unless we got some policies and the incentive from the government itself. Okay, if the government are putting up some incentive, okay, when you recover this kind of soil contamination, there will be a change in the value. For example, there is tax reduction, and I believe a lot of there will be more facilities out there are willing to take this challenge. Okay. Next question.
So for the next question, we have from TS Muhammad Safwan.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Norimin. My question is, some of co-processing cement company need certain amount of weight for they to accept our waste. Is it possible for some small factory to combine the waste and send to this co-processing plant?
Okay, that's a good question from TS Safwan. Hello, sir, my friend also. Okay. Yes, when we talk about the co-processing, when we need to send our waste to the cement industries, they are looking for the volume. Okay. Now, the challenge is, what about the small company that with small waste? Can we combine? Let's say we pull together, about three or four company join together and send it to the cement. That can be done. Can be done. What they need to do is just approach these cement industries and talk to them. Maybe they can arrange for the special arrangement. In terms of logistics, it might be some costs over there, because maybe that the location is not one place. Okay, they need to pick up in a several places. But it can be done. Okay, I believe it can be done. What we need to do is just get a concern from the authority. Okay, bring this matter to the DOE concern, together with this cement factory, on behalf of them. Go and sit together with the DOE, discuss about this. And I have an experience in this, whereby we have some cases out there with the same cases that you are asking. We have some discussion with the DOE, the cement factory, and the waste generator. There are about 3 waste generators at that time. So we discussed how we can simplify the process. Of course, there will be some cost in terms of logistics, but end of the day, we still can save the budget. Okay, so to answer your question, it can be done, but it need to some effort. Okay.
So for the last question from Izati Normi, my another question is, how effective are current e-waste management regulations in Malaysia compared to global practices?
Okay, I think next session will answer this one, but let me answer on my behalf. From what I see, Malaysia is one of the country that very good in terms of legislation. When it comes to the legal framework, we are among the country that in the highest standard. So I can say that when you in international level, our legal framework is quite effective. Okay, so it complies also to the e-waste. So we have now we are tackling on e-waste on the household. Okay? Even we don't have still we don't have the household legal requirement on this household waste. Okay, because out there in our house we also get hazardous waste, right? This is a Christmas season. We do the painting work, everything, and we also generate the shadow waste in our household. But due to lack of legal framework on the household, then we, at this moment, we dispose it as a general waste. Same like e-waste. We have a lot of e-waste in our home. TV, radio, computers, laptop, everything. but it will always end up we send to the we just put it in the corner in the front of our house, and then let the collector come and collect. Okay, and it is not offense any laws and regulation. But what DOE have done is they have established what we call collection center. Okay, they are promoting the communities to send our e-waste from the home to this collection center. So from the collection center, it will send out to the licensed facilities by the DOE. So if you are asking about how effective the current e-waste management regulation is Malaysia, it's very effective when we are compared to the global. Okay? Even we are in line with the global requirement. Okay? Okay, that's all.
Thank you everyone for actively participating in the Q&A session. In summary, session 1 focused on the importance of managing scheduled waste sustainably by using practical approaches and aligning with policies. It showed how industries can protect the environment while supporting long-term sustainability. Moving on to the next part, we will be having an exciting session for the participants. Please get your mobile phone to enter the quiz. Participants can scan the QR code to join the quiz, and do make sure you are trying your best. We give you all 2 minutes to enter the quiz. Good luck, everyone.
Miss MC Balkis.
Yes.
Before I ended my session,
Uh-huh.
I would like to extend the offer that I give. The first 3 questions. Now I'm giving all the for those who are already asking the question over the phone or over the speakers and whoever who not in the chat, you are entitled to claim. Okay, not only for 3 questions. So this is to be fair because I see a lot of questions that I cannot answer. So I extend this promotion. So everybody who give the question in the chat box just now also entitled to give. What you need to do is you just take my numbers, okay, and WhatsApp me, okay, with this screenshot. You just screenshot this one and then WhatsApp to me, and I will our management, our admin will communicate with you lah. Okay, that's all.
All right, sir. So now we will proceed with the quizzes. So you have 2 minutes to enter the quiz. winner for this quiz is hatiku. Congratulations! To the winner of this session, please contact our team later. So before we end our first session for today, all participants are required to turn on your cameras for our first photography session. Please remember to switch your layout on the top right corner of your screen to the grid layout. So get ready, everyone. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you. Okay. Oh, another one. Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, thank you. So the attendance link will be open for 15 minutes only. Please ensure you fill it in within the given time, and the link is available in the chat box. Thank you. Toward the end of the quiz, it remarked our first session had ended. Once again, a big thanks to Mr. Norimin for the insightful talk and everyone for participating in this session. All participants may scan the QR code provided for the attendance for today's program. Now, please wait for Madam Rose Kwan to join our webinar.
Hi, MC, I'm on board. MC, can you hear me?
Okay. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. We apologize for making everyone wait for this session. It's good to see all of you again. In this session, we are very fortunate to have Madam Rose Kwan, Director of Shen Puna Metal Sdn Bhd, to give us more insights about e-waste recovery and management, processes, and environmental impact. Here is the biography of Madam Rose Kwan. Madam Rose Kwan has extensive experience across diverse industries. She has been the Executive Director of Shen Punam Group since 2004 and previously served as Materials Manager at Comat USA M Sdn Bhd from 1992 until 2004. Earlier roles include Pharmaceutical Sales Representative at Bristol Myers Squibb, Chemist and Marketing Executive at Adorna Jewelry Sdn Bhd, and tutor at University Science Malaysia. Recognized for her contributions to environmental advocacy, she received awards from the Governor of Penang in 2018 and 2022. Her career highlights leadership, sustainability, and professional versatility. Now the presentation is about to begin. Kindly remember to mute your microphone during the presentation to avoid interruptions. Without further ado, I would like to humbly welcome Madam Rose Kwan to the stage.
Thank you very much, MC. A very good afternoon to the organizers, University UiTM and Rakan Alam Sekitar Student Chapter, DOE, advisor, Madam I, yeah, and Salam Malaysia Madani. Now, I'm very honored, Emily. I'm pleased to have Emily on the same page with us. She's helping me to manage the slides, yeah. Well, I'm really honored, yeah, to share with you on the e-waste recovery and the management, its processes and the environmental impact. Now, I'm very, very fortunate to have Greenvell in Norimin to give a very fundamental sharing that makes my presentation today very easy to understand, because he has actually laid down very well all the very fundamentals. Okay, so now everybody is aware that globally everyone is shifting towards sustainability with challenges such as resource depletion, climate change, and waste management. The circular economy provides the solution. Now, technological breakthroughs in recycling, renewable energy, and digitalizations are the key drivers, yeah, enabling more efficient resource usage and a closed loop system. Now, be very mindful that while we transition to circular economy, it is very critical for us to ensure intellectual property rights of our customers is well protected and traceability is actually maintained. Yeah, so it's not only waste management, it's also the IP rights of customers and traceability. I believe recently we have heard in the news about City Riot, etc. So let's be very mindful about that. Yeah. The next, basically, like I want to say that over the years, yeah, Shampunam actually recognized the importance of transitioning to a circular economy a decade ago. Emily, the next slide. And over the years, Emily, can you hear me? Next slide. Over the years, yeah, Shampunam have actually recognized the importance of transitioning to a circular economy, I would say a decade ago. And if you can see this slide, if I see the screen, the voice is not coming well. Am I right?
Yes,
Is
yes,
it
yes.
better now? Okay.
The voice is very strong.
Say again.
The echo is very strong.
How do I go about that? Let me see. Emily, I think you got to mute yours. Okay. Is it better? Is it better?
Still echoing.
Testing. Testing. Is the sound better?
The echo is there.
Okay. Now I'll go a little bit slower. Now, over the years, we have continuously invested and improved our infrastructure, particularly in our integrated, environmentally sound management, high technology recycling facilities, which produces If you look on the right-hand side of the screen, you will see these are all the recycled materials that is produced in our facilities. You can see very common secondary aluminum alloy ingot. I'm also hearing my echo. Anybody can help out? Can you hear me? Testing.
You are hearing your echo, so meaning that your speaker is open or your mic is open also, right? You should actually mute your speaker, only using your mic.
Can you hear me? Is it better?
Much better.
Okay. So on the right-hand side, you will see the finished goods that is produced in this facility. Okay. So some of these finished goods can be from the emerging industries. And definitely with our current and future investment, we certainly hope to help Malaysia to position as a hub for material circularity. Now, I'll move back to the previous slide. If you look at the slide, is it better now or is still not?
No, it still echoes. Echoing, yeah.
Say again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, better.
Okay. Now, if you look at this slide, you will see you look at the bottom slide because this is where we emphasize on closed loop. And how is this possible? It's only possible through the technology and innovation of a recycling facility, such as our company. I'm not promoting our company per se. I'm just sharing with you what we have in Malaysia that we as a Malaysian, we can be very proud of. As a professional in this industry, I have traveled to many countries, which includes Japan, Taiwan, Europe, and you can literally see there's no such facility which you can call as integrated facility, where the waste that you collect are processed on site. And not only one material, one process, there are multiple processes which we are going to show you through the corporate video, literally virtually we are bringing to you. Okay? And I'm very happy to see so many people at this time of the week. Yeah, it's a Sunday. And that goes to show how much you care for the environment. I have only, just to let the participants know, I only have my laptop on. So I'm not too sure where the echoing comes from. Okay. Emily, your side behind me, equipment on. Emily? Okay, it must be only one. So what I'm going to share, if you look at the slide from the industry, collect it, look at the red arrow. From the industry, we collect the scheduled waste and in sharpener through our technology and innovation, the recycled material that we extracted or transformed from the industrial waste has minimal carbon footprints. And these can be used directly by the end users. For example, secondary aluminum ingot as our finished goods is a raw material for the automotive components. It's a direct material. Gold that we extracted can be used for gold bonding wire, sputtering targets, etc. Okay, just to give you an idea. And since everybody is talking about compliance to the Bursa standard, Bursa Malaysia standards, global GRI standards for the SR reporting and the greenhouse gas reporting, whatever waste that we collect from the industry, we can actually put together the carbon avoidance data. Whatever finished goods that we manage to recycle, we are in the process of gathering the product carbon footprint, which is a direct raw material for the industries. Okay? The next slide, you will see, next slide, please. So generally, you can see for recycling facilities, it's not a small investment. It's a huge investment. So you can literally see the total assets in the center of the slide. We invest 300 over million.
Excuse me, madam. I may actually stop presenting for a while. We will present the slide.
Okay.
Okay. You can proceed. Your
I
presentation.
can't see the slide.
Wait.
Yeah.
You just proceed, and we will try to tally the slide presentation with your presentation.
Sure. So okay, actually the next slide, what I'm actually sharing with you is something that you can be very proud of, that we have it in Malaysia. Yeah. Everybody has to move on into sustainability. Every business has to move along that wave. Otherwise, we will stay irrelevant. The whole world will not wait for us if we want the business. Okay? So, like one person who asking as an SME, what will happen? If you're not going to come along, you're going to be irrelevant. Your business is going to be irrelevant. So you have to catch up with the requirement of your customers to stay relevant. Okay? Now the next slide. I need to see the slide. Hold on. Okay, so the next slide, you can literally see the infrastructure and technology innovations that we have today and is ready for circularity. I'm still not able to see the slide, yeah? MC? And all these technological breakthrough has led us to be able to have our core, to develop our current core competency. Can you all see any slides?
No.
Okay. Without the slides, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to imagine. Yeah, because all these are very much customized in our facility. Yeah. So just bear with us. Yeah, but maybe along the journey, while waiting, I can just quickly share with you. We have been positioning ourselves towards circular economy thanks to the loyalty of our customers who have worked with us, some of them more than a decade, more than 10 years. So literally, we understand their waste profile. After understanding their waste profile, if you recall what the previous speaker shared with you, first you must understand the waste profile, and then from there, you try to extract the metals, for example. If your waste has gold and other components like platinum, nickel, etc., initially you may not be good enough to extract multiple elements. You probably extract the most expensive one, maybe in this case would be gold, right? So guys, I'll share a little bit slower. You just have to visualize, yeah? Let's say the waste has 3 elements. You have gold, you have platinum, you have nickel, you have copper. Now, a good recycler has to find technology. First is to extract the most expensive item. If the expensive item, but it does not have higher content also, you may just be wasting your time. So you have to look at the content, you have to look at the material value. Then you prioritize them. Okay? So I just give you an idea of the hard disk drive. Yeah? If you I know y'all are more advanced. You don't have you may not have seen a hard disk drive. Okay, but you go and see the servers in your university, there are hard disk drives there. You pull out the hard disk drive, inside there you have the memory storage. And that's when, you know, inside the memory storage, inside the hard disk drive, you will see like a donut shape. The donut shape is actually the media. And the media, the base is actually aluminum. Yes, nickel coated. Yes, platinum coated. Yeah. In the past, I only paid for aluminum because I do not know how to recover the nickel and the platinum. Over time, because of the loyalty of the customer who trusted us, and we as ourselves as a recycler, we share with them the roadmap, how we are going to recycle them. So initially we recycle the aluminum, we pay them for the aluminum. Over time, we recycle, we manage to extract the platinum, and then subsequently we pay them. Whenever there's a research and development breakthrough, we pay them. In this case, for the platinum. Over time, we are able to extract the nickel, the platinum, and then the base that is aluminum. So we pay them for 3 elements. So it is very important for you, if you are the waste generator, you must try to work with your recyclers so that to look upon them as a raw material supplier. Because end of the day, whatever waste that we extracted from there, it is going to go round into their raw material supply chain pool. And this is where the perception of this industry has to change, because they are no longer looked upon as a waste management recycler, but they are resource transformer. And because of their capability around this aspect, they are known to help, they are known to contribute to the eco raw material supply chain pool. And that's when people like us, we are capable of providing Malaysia to be the hub for material circularity. The slides are still not up yet, but never mind. So because of our technology breakthrough, our core competency today is precious metal recovery and refining. Which means we are able to extract platinum, gold, rhodium, palladium, and many, many more. And the other core competency of ours is producing secondary aluminum alloy ingots. We are different from pressed metal. We are different. If you remember many years ago, in Pahang, they were digging up the bauxite. You will see all the red, on the road, on the transport, because of they were digging the bauxites. So what we are encouraging you to do, no more digging from the bauxite. No more getting foreigners to come into Malaysia to dig on the bauxite. We should emphasize more on the recycling, because from the recycled material, that's when we are able to produce low carbon footprint secondary aluminum alloy ingot that can be used for the production of components of automotive industry, hard disk drive industry, oil and gas industry, etc. and etc. And Malaysia has the infrastructure. Now, the other core competency of ours is the production of the recovery and refining of copper cathodes. Copper cathodes, I believe in your science, or the other speaker just now, he showed you the picture of the blister copper. Okay, blister copper may not be a pure copper. Okay, so if you look at the video later on, you will see how we extract. Thank you very much. You go up to the slide. You go up. Slide 5. Slide 5. Okay, and put it in PowerPoint, please. Put it in the presentation mode, please. Okay, that's right. Thank you. So as you can see from this slide, presentation mode, please. So I touch on the precious metal recovery. The top two, if you look at the precious metal recovery column, you will see that cell 1 and 2 vertically, you will see these are all the equipments. And then the last portion is actually the finished goods, that is gold, silver, etc. The next core competency would be precious metal, would be secondary aluminum alloy ingots. And the third one is a copper and copper recovery and refining. And then you can see what I like to emphasize on the copper recovery and refining would be this is actually our latest technology. Yeah, this is our latest. And maybe I'd like to emphasize a little bit here. Okay, now for precious metal recovery, you know, PGM recovery, etc., we try to use advanced recycling technologies, green technologies that uses sustainable manufacturing processes and less toxic chemicals. If you recap what Norimin has mentioned, less toxic, don't use like cyanide, fluorides, that kind of thing. Yeah, use less toxic, more green chemicals, because subsequently after you use them, you have to find ways and means to treat them. Yeah. And the other one is like, banyak senang, crush it. But how are you going to extract the precious metal, for example, in a hard disk drive? Yeah, maybe there's 10 grams of gold. 10 grams of gold maybe is 3,000 ringgit. Okay, so you say, okay, I crush it easier. But you crush it, how are you going to dig out the gold? It's only the 10 grams versus 1,000 grams of waste that is in your hand. So you always have to think of what is the best way, optimal way of recovery using green processes, and to ensure higher efficiency in material recovery. Okay, including the recovery of new materials such as gallium, selenium, etc. Additionally, if you look at the copper recovery and refining, this is our latest technology that we have. The waste or residual waste generated like slag contains no heavy metals. By right, it can be co-processed into bricks, further minimizing our environmental footprint. We have submitted our applications to DOE, okay, and we need them to speed up in the approval. Otherwise, we will end up having to send it to for waste treatment, disposal, that kind of thing. Now, certainly your question about sending it to cement factory. So for cement factory, they are very fortunate because whatever waste you send there, as long as it's scheduled waste, you end up having to pay. Okay, so it is something that people like us, the waste generator, we want to see how cost effective, most important, how cost effective are we going about in handling the residual waste. Yeah, so that's our challenge. Now, at the same time, I also want to mention about the technology adopted for the copper recovery and refining facility is that we use renewable energy. I'm talking about technologies along the journey. Yeah, so just follow me very closely. So the technology that we use is first, this system uses renewable energy from the, you see the fibers, the green fibers in the printed circuit boards. It has high calorific value. Okay, now, so all you need to do is ignite it and then it will self-burn by itself. So you use less energy for your fuel. At the same time, the emissions, yeah, because you can maximum recovery, etc., you have to make sure your effluent discharge into the environment is clean. So we have 5 different sections within the system to ensure that clean gas are actually discharged into the environment. So we have, when you burn at high temperature, you have dioxin being formed, furan being formed. So we have the quencher that brings down the temperature so that the dioxin, furan will not be reformed. You have like post-combustion chamber that makes sure that you have complete burning so that you do not emit the black smoke. And then at the same time, you have your sobacal system, you have your, back filter, etc., etc. Okay, so this is These are some of the innovations that we have incorporated into our technology. Now, at the same time, just to share with you, this is a smart recycling facility. Why I said so? It uses the IoT system, the SCADA system, which is a supervisory control and data acquisition system. Okay, so my team of people can work around 24 hours, monitor from home, you know, the processes, the kind of thing. Yeah, so it has, that's why I said this is a smart recycling facility. And definitely, as we move towards a circular economy, protecting intellectual properties like patent rights, trademarks, designs are very crucial. It goes beyond dollars and cents. So along with this, we make sure the data and the softwares are properly secured. For example, in your university, you have, you know, your IT system, etc. And there's a lot of IP protection. So before you actually scrap it, bring people like us to help you to do the data removal so that your data are properly secure. Now, ladies and gentlemen, waste management is not only a matter of recycling, it is also involving IP protections, and you must have traceability. So besides this, our plant is TAPA certified. That means end-to-end from the time we collect materials from your place to the time it arrives at our premises, and how we process it are actually closely monitored. We use GPS tracking, and we apply secure methods such as data sanitization, crushing, pyrometallurgy, hydrometallurgy to ensure IP is well protected. At the same time, ladies and gentlemen, we have to ensure traceability, accountability, and transparency through this process. All these points may not have been highlighted by the other speakers because if they are not into recycling business, they may not understand this part of it, which is today heavily demanded by our customers. Okay. Now, at the same time, as you can see, maybe I will rephrase it. All the technology that is needed for recovery basically lies in two types. One, pyrometallurgy, big bombastic word, is just burning. Two, hydrometallurgy, which is just chemical processes. End of the day, you must know how to treat the residual waste, be it in the ash form, effluent, or the liquid waste. Okay? Now, the fifth core competency of ours will be in the ITED management, which I already emphasized, using a computer, using a hard disk drive as an example. Okay? I think this one everybody knows. Everybody has the waste, but how you protect IP, that is the very crucial part. Okay, and the other one is precision cleaning and surface treatment. I'd like to skip that. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide. So the next slide, please. The next slide shows all the different types of recognitions for our innovations and green technology. Okay, and the latest that we garnered is actually the ESG award for Sustainable Development Goals number 12, that is responsible consumption and production. Okay, that is in 2023. And we launched our latest GHG and SR report along Bursa Malaysia standards. Next year, we will comply to GRI standards. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So the next slide actually shares with you the infrastructure that we have. It's not so simple, the recyclers like us, because it's very, very heavy investment. Okay, a lot of times the customers will only request, hey, I want a one-shop center. Memang susah, very difficult for us to have all the schedule waste code, because, ladies and gentlemen, you must be able to process each and every one of us. So it involves technology, it involves research and development. So it's not so simple as that. Okay, next. Next slide. Next slide just give you an idea about the TAPA certification on how we protect intellectual property rights. First, the way we collect from our customers' premise to the time it reaches our place, it is actually we monitored using our GPS system. This is how we protect intellectual property rights. Next slide. So I will walk through, the subsequent slide is to just give you an overall picture, okay, a real life example. Next slide, please. Okay, it gives you an example of hard disk drive, so that I can literally walk you through to see a closed loop, so that you can visualize subsequently that it's possible. Malaysia memang ada infrastructure that promotes material circularity. Next slide, please. So, okay, so this is where, you know, just now you saw the 5 R's, you know, this is where we practice reuse. In your university, you know, you can actually remove the data, okay, using softwares, yeah. And then you can reuse your computers, or you can give it away to a less fortunate children, yeah, as part of your CSR. So a certificate of which we call that data erasure report will be given to you. Next slide. So like I said, I'm just using a hard disk drive or a computer to walk you through the whole journey until circular economy. Yeah, so if you look at it, the best thing will be extending the lifespan of your e-waste. Betul-betul tak boleh guna, then you try to remove the data, and then if you remove the data, you have to send it to the repair centers. And if, let's say, if you really cannot reuse, then we try to salvage the parts. If betul-betul tak boleh, then you go through the process called recovery and refining. So the next step, I will show you how I'll use the example. Inside the hard disk drive, there's a PCBA, there's a lot of components. So I'll just dive into printed circuit boards. Next slide, please. Okay, so on the left-hand side top, you will see the PCBA. It will go through the furnace, and from the furnace, you go through, then whatever finished goods that comes out is called a blister copper. So blister copper contains copper, it contains precious metal. Wow, you look at printed circuit boards, visually you can see other emas. You can actually extract precious metal from your house. Use cyanide, go and do your research. It's all open secret. Extract your copper, extract gold. Then you can burn it to extract your copper. But how you take care of the environment? You can actually do it, yeah? But how you take care of the environment? Okay, that's why when China shut down the door for importation, a lot of waste come into the country. And that's where you have a lot of issues, health issues. So what I'm trying to show you is after the furnace, you have blister copper. From the blister copper, you move to the next stage, another furnace that has an anode furnace. From the anode furnace, we cast it out to become a copper anode. From the copper anode, that's when you have copper refining. It's just like electrolysis, refining. electrolysis. You have an anode, then you have a copper ion flowing to the cathode. That's when you have a copper cathodes. So that's when you talk, you put your science into practice. Okay? And what happens if you look at it, anode over time will dissolve. So what happens to all the precious metal? You can only see the copper deposited is at the bottom of the tank. So how you extract the precious metal at the bottom of the tank? Okay, so very simple. It's not so. You have to do a lot of research. That's when you have to prioritize which element to extract. Okay, so at the bottom of the copper refining tank, you have the slime. Ini slime jangan hantar KA ya, quality alam ya. The slime has precious metal. So the slime, what you need to do is, there are only two different processes which I say how you extract precious metal, etc. There's a pyro and a hydro, right? So now it's a hydro. So you take the you take the slime from the bottom of the tank, then you go through hydrometallurgy. On different, you use customized chemicals to extract it. Which one to extract it? Kita kena pandai lah. So this is our trade secret. We try to extract first, so that if there are 100 grams of gold, you must try to get 99 grams. If you are recovering only 95 grams, we fail. We are not going to stay competitive. If you are not going to stay competitive, no matter how canggih your equipment is, you will not get business. That's how competitive the world is. Nobody waits for you. You can ask the government to give you technology car. No use, because if you are not good in your process of recovery, even technology given to you is useless. Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, so these are just some of the steps, some of the technological breakthrough that we have. Now, over time, you can see, if you really look at hard disk drive, there are so many elements. How come we only extract a few only? So that we keep looking at how, we keep looking, diving into R&D to see what else we can recover optimally. What is, again, depends on the global supply and demand. If the rare earth, with the geopolitical situation, you know who is controlling the rare earth, then it becomes a scarcity. Then you ask yourself, the price is going to go up. So if you dive in, you can actually extract it and then become important. Okay? Now, at the same time, we try to work towards zero waste. Whenever you have waste, you have, is just now, the previous speaker said SW5, the 5 series. 5 series have to go for treatment, and you have to pay for it. Pay for treatment, pay for disposal. So what do? Even you send for cementation. You think the cement factory will come and collect free because it's their raw materials? Sorry, they are still commanding the markets. So it will never be free. Okay? So we have to go co-processing. We have to plead with DOE to help us to speed up our approval, where our slag does not contain heavy metals. Otherwise, we keep on paying money for treatment. Okay? And it's not going to help the country, because this is where the GHG emission is going to increase. Yeah, so we have to work towards zero waste. Okay? Now, next slide, please. So the next slide, if you look at it, is, if you really look at the next slide, you will notice that, yeah, what we have is the environmental solutions for the country. Yeah, it's a smart recycling facilities. Yeah. There's no one in Malaysia, there's no one outside Malaysia, within ASEAN region, who has these facilities. Now, the next slide actually shows you a UNEP paper. Students, please go and Google this paper. It's a UNEP recommended technology in the stack paper. Recycling from e-waste to resource. Basically, they are recommending, they knew that certain countries, they will not have enough waste. Just like in Sabah, there's not enough e-waste. Even if you set up an infrastructure, it's going to be a white elephant. You set up in Sarawak, you may have a white elephant for the e-waste because there's not sufficient e-waste around. Okay, so other areas like Laos, you know, Vietnam, I think is picking up in terms of waste. Yeah. So what they are recommending is that, hey, can certain countries provide a hub, be a hub, so that all these waste can come into this hub for material circularity. This is their recommendation in 2009. When we reviewed this paper, we realized that, wow, what they are recommending, Malaysia sudah ada. And I'm very proud to share with you as a Malaysian, if any of the pensyarah, the lecturers who are going to give a keynote address, you'll be very proud. You can stand up very tall because I personally have given talks to the UNEP, in the UNEP about a decade ago. We are already standing very tall, okay? So the next slide, please. Okay, next slide shows you all the, in our facilities, which I would term it as integrated ESM facility, using green technology, we produce eco-green products. What you see is our very own product. Now, what is very important, ladies and gentlemen, like the previous speaker who told you, okay, there you must have feasibility, there must be volume, there must be content. The content must be ada. Kalau tak ada sikit-sikit saja, may not be viable because the cost of chemicals, the cost of, you know, pyrolysis, hydrometallurgy is too expensive for you to versus the value that you recovered. So for us, the recovery rate will be exceeding more than 97%. It can be 99 depending on the elements. Okay, purity will be 99.99. The higher purity you have, you can sell at a higher value. Because end of the day, you get higher value, you can actually share the cost savings with the waste generator to encourage them to journey with us in the recycling. We cannot say just because we have the scheduled waste license, semua bayar saya, kerana saya ada license. Itu bukan caranya. As a responsible Malaysian, we should not adopt that attitude. We want, as a tenant on this earth, we are just a tenant, okay? We have to really protect the environment. And then our finished goods, ladies and gentlemen, is a secondary aluminum alloy ingot which meets international standards, Japanese international standards, British standards, American standards, etc. Now, I want to share with you the latest information. The world, globally, customers are already demanding. They will ask you, if you are producing, let's say hard disk drive, they will be asking you how much of recycled aluminum is in your hard disk drive. I repeat, how much of recycled aluminum is in your hard disk drive? If the hard disk drive industry manufacturer uses Shampunam's aluminum ingot, they can claim that the recycled aluminum ingot in their product is 95% recycled aluminum. And it is validated by UL 2809. UL 2809. Okay, now these are all the new information that I'm sharing with you. Okay, next slide. Next slide actually shares with you, I can't wait for the slides to appear. Next slide shows you the circular economy for scheduled waste. Yeah, next slide, please. I think it's very important for us to have a good view. So ladies and gentlemen, you literally have seen how I showed you an example of a e-waste SW110, where if it goes through facilities like us, literally we are able to transform back into recycled material for your product itself. Okay, for your, let's say you are a manufacturer of printed circuit boards, so you can claim that your new product is made from recycled material. To what percent is another question. Okay, so on the left hand side, if you look at the printed circuit board itself, when it comes to our, okay, remember, it has intellectual property rights. You cannot, they won't give it to you as it is. Usually you have to crush it. If not, they will make sure that the parts come to our facilities. They will witness the crushing in our facilities. And from there, they will see how pyrometallurgy ataupun we will decide what process we are going to use. And in this case, I would just to make life easy, since we're running short of time. So you go through pyrometallurgy, you have a copper anode, copper refining, copper cathodes as one of the finished goods, then it can incorporate back into the industries to produce eco-green product. So if you have aluminium, it goes through aluminium processes, and that's when you go back to the industry again. Now, this is how we transform schedule waste to eco, low carbon footprint raw materials for industries. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I say, printed circuit board, you juga boleh buat, you juga boleh extract gold, you juga boleh extract copper by burning saja. But what is very, very important, the difference between you and me in our industry is that the effluent. We need to spend a lot of capex in the air pollution control system. If you are burning pyrometallurgy, you must have a back filter, that takes care of the particles. If you are using chemicals, you need to have a wet scrubber. Okay, on top of that, as we adopt continuous improvement, we realize there's socks and knots being produced. So in our wet scrubber, the latest technology, we put forth our socks and knots. And those that cannot be treated, the SW501, it goes to KA, quality alarm. Okay. Now, next slide. Okay, next slide actually shows you how we handle the chemicals, those liquid waste. Liquid waste, now you pack into IBC tank. Now, IBC tank are very, very expensive if you buy brand new. What I strongly advocate to all of us here is that, yes, you can sell it back, get the vendor to take it back, the supplier of chemicals to take it back. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, one IBC tank can cost you 400 ringgit. So pandai-pandai negotiate. Kalau tidak, if you have wastewater treatment system, washed it, okay, make sure you go through the TCLP test, convert into non-scheduled waste, 409 to non-scheduled waste. Okay, and then you can actually sell it or get your vendor like us to kind of store it for you in case sometimes your wastewater treatment plant kadang-kadang overflow, potential overflow. This can be used for emergency. It's a mitigation factor. Okay, and then when it comes to so back to our focus on circular economy for the chemical waste. Upon arriving in our place, we do lab testing. We can go for electrowinning lah, ion exchange lah, and that's when that's how we transform schedule waste to eco low carbon footprint raw materials for the industry. Again, as usual, you make sure that you have your pollution control system. Usually it's a socks and knots. Usually it's a wet scrubber system. Okay. Then the next slide. Okay, next slide will be literally just to give you an overview, since all of you are from universities, how we reclaim the future. Just like any new materials. Next slide, please. It's only through technological innovations that's when we are able to enable circularity. Next slide, please. So just like in any of the multinational companies or any of the manufacturing facilities, you will have new products being introduced into the market. So same goes for us whenever we get new waste. Next slide, please. Whenever we get new waste, new samples, we do a waste profiling. Yeah. Now, if you look at the just like the other previous speakers, he already tell you, you get a new waste, your own waste, you go and waste profiling, send it to the lab. That's exactly what I mean. Okay, and then we identify what are the elements that is of value that we can actually extract, and we try to use green processes and for optimal recovery, and then we use the most cost-effective methods. Why this is very important? Remember, the previous speakers were saying, hey, when to pay you, it doesn't mean that all schedule waste, you kena bayar PYDT, recyclers. No. If the value that you recovered is higher than the cost of treatment, then we end up paying you. If the cost of treatment is higher than the value recovered, then you bayar kita sikit lah. Okay, that's how it works. Yeah. Now, after we do the R&D, and then we do the pilot run. I think students, you're very, very familiar. We do pilot runs to make sure that the results are able to be repeated. After that, only we do the mass pro. So some of this mass production requires equipments. So if it requires new equipments, like just now you saw the copper recovery and all those things, then you have to invest in those equipments. You cannot wait for the government, bagi fund lah, bagi inilah, bagi itulah. We don't wait because business doesn't wait for people. Money, time is money. If by the time you get the grants, it's a sunset business. So we must always be ahead of the curve. Otherwise, we'll be left behind. Okay, next slide. The next slide, I'm going to skip everything. I like to go into ESG goals, roadmaps, and then next slide. ESG roadmaps. Next slide. So if you look at our ESG 2024 goals, roadmap and direction forward, basically, like I already said, we already launched our GHG inventory report 2023. Next slide, please. Okay, let's look at, now we are at 5 already. Product carbon footprint. This is where, remember the earlier slide that I showed you twice, I shared product carbon footprint. Okay, so now we are gathering the data. That means product, what is my product? My product is recycled aluminum, secondary aluminum alloy ingot, gold, copper. These are my finished goods. And this finished goods is actually going to be a raw material for the industries. And this is what all the global customers are demanding right now. Okay, so this is where we are going to journey this, and then ultimately will be carbon credit trading. Yeah, because all my customers are international, so we are going for global GRI standards instead of only Bursa Malaysia standards. Yeah, all this we are proactively journeying on our own with the help of a consultant. Yeah, next. Now, this is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. The next slide is call to action. Now, we need to embrace circular future together. It is not PYDT, it is not waste generators. I'm very happy, students, you are here this morning because you care so much about the environment. I hope you're not here just because of the points, yeah, but because of the knowledge. I learned a lot from your other speakers too. Okay, so to the institutions, yeah, I would say go buy green. To the manufacturers, go buy green. Treat the waste, have a mindset that the waste to the local recyclers, yeah, send your waste to the local recyclers who have the processing capability, not only as a license holder. A lot, go and find out for yourself. Does it mean that they are license holder, they are able to process it? They may not be processed a lot of things like an ESM facilities. Are they truly an ESM facility? Do they have the technology? Or hanya dapat license, semua boleh, bukan macam ni. Okay? Our strength, just to let you ladies and gentlemen knows, it is on my R&D team. And the support from the waste generators who continuously supply us the waste. If there is a continuous supply of raw material, in this case is the waste, there will be a continuous generation of recycled material into the closed loop system. If they do not have a continuous supply, then every time they get a new waste, they're gonna buat R&D. A lot of time, a lot of resources is actually wasted. Okay? Now the next one you can see here, for us, people like us, what must we do? Emily, no, the slide before, yes. We need to continuously upgrade our facilities so that we are an ESM facility. We must be willing to invest in good technology and work towards zero waste. We must always be ahead to set up infrastructure to support new emerging industry. What are new emerging industry? Solar, EV cars, apa lagi? AI, if you ask me, a lot of this technology kita sudah ada. Okay? My only problem, ladies and gentlemen, for the PYDT would be continuous supply of raw materials. Like Microsoft, you know, all the big players, AI players, data center players, they wanted to use us because we are well known internationally. But we are not able to import in because of the Basel Convention. That is my biggest problem. Not technology, not money. Anyway, we just sold our company to Savaro, which is part of Khazanah. It's not the money, it's the continuous flow of raw materials, which is the waste, which is needed to transform them into recycled material and back into the closed loop. So to the policy makers, and I'm very sure, university lecturers are also are called to be part, to give their opinions for the RMK 13, okay, or even the last RMK 12. Yeah, there must be a paradigm shift, ladies and gentlemen. It is no longer a waste, especially SW110. Don't say the big word. You break down, you look at printed circuit boards. It is a resource, okay? Because there's so much of copper, there's so much of gold, there's so much of other materials inside. We look into this, the waste. We look into this spectrum of supply chain contribution to the nation. When people look at the supply chain, they always look at, oh, R&D, manufacturing, then their products, their distribution, the counting. But what happened to post-consumer waste? What happens to the waste fallout from the manufacturing? It is also the resource. And if you really dive in, with all the emergence of the new industry, the EV cars and all those things, you're going to run out of copper, you're run out of precious metal, you're going to run out of rare metals. Where are we going to continue to dig? Right? So all of us have to be very, very mindful. All of us have to be the voice of the planet. Yeah? So ask ourselves whether the infrastructure in the country ready for the current industry and emerging industries. Because we do not want foreigners to come into the country to say, oh, Malaysia don't have the technology. I'm going to bring my technology, you know, that is able to cater to the emerging industries. Today, the problem with the PYDT, it is not the technology. It is not the financial. It is the raw material supply. So we need to understand the pain points of the manufacturing facilities and the PYDT. Business match them. Just like Maida, they always talk about industrial linkage program or vendor development program, when they bring in investors into Malaysia, they also, that we expect the foreign investors to localize, to do localization, so there's a transfer of technology to the Malaysian-based companies, right? So at the same time, you know, the government need to monitor the gaps to ensure success of the local partnership so that we can truly embark into buy Malaysian products. At the same time, support local recycling investors. Look at the domestic recyclers. They have the local talents. And what we have as a company, Summa, these are all our local, we have been going around over the world, yeah, Europe countries, you know, and also surrounding, to look for technologies. What's best? What's the most cost-effective technology that we have to what do you call that? To recycle the waste that we have in the country. Definitely, it would be great if we can incentivize the locals to invest in circular initiatives, like what the previous speakers have mentioned, the tax breaks, you know, etc., and the R&D funding. Ensures, most important, ensures sufficient raw material supply so that we can optimize capacity of local recyclers with the state-of-art facilities. I'm not saying, I'm not speaking for every facility. Only those with ESM facility. If those that do not have technology and they do not take care of the environment is as good as no technology, no license. So please, if whoever you give your waste to, go and audit them as a responsible citizen. I understand there's a foreign-based students or partners here. So please go and audit all your recyclers. Make sure by auditing them, you know whether they have the right facility to process your waste, or they are just going to wait for the rain to start discharging into their drain, or they look for a landfill, unauthorized landfill, and dump the waste. Because a lot of time, we waste generators, we tend to look for the cheapest for disposal. Like I always shared with all Malaysians, investors come and go. They hop from one country to another, but what they leave behind is for us to inherit. So we have to smartly know what to do. Okay. At the same time, yeah, by having good infrastructure, we are helping FDIs and DDIs, that means foreign investors and domestic investors, meets ESG compliance, so that Malaysia can be an attractive business destination. And my personal call, because we have such a facility, Malaysia has such a beautiful facility, an integrated ESM facility. What about making Malaysia a regional hub for material circularity as we transition to circular economy? Thus, by doing this, we will be fostering growth of Malaysia's green economy. So let's together make Malaysia well positioned. Thank you. I think I finished on time. MC, do we still have some more time? If yes, I got a corporate video to show. If not, I'm open to question and answers. And I can give the corporate video link to them. They can access into it. That's to save time if you want.
Yeah,
So
sure.
it depends on how much time we have.
We will finish until 5:15.
Okay. So the corporate video, I leave it to you whether you want to on it or you can give them the link. Yeah. If not, it takes about 5 minutes to finish it up, the corporate video. Otherwise, I can take question and answers.
Madam, you can proceed with your slide until 5:15, and then we
I'm done.
will.
My slides are finished. I finished
Oh,
my
your slide already
slides. Yeah,
finished.
I only have one corporate video, which takes about 5 minutes.
Okay.
I can take the Q&A.
All right. So we give the control to your team.
Say again?
If that's so, we will continue with the Q&A session, and then we proceed with the video that you want to present.
Sure, no problem.
Okay. So the first question to be asked to Madam is from Uzma. She asked that recently there's a shocking news about illegal waste dumping at Bukit Pelanduk, Negeri Sembilan. Could you give us your point of view and ways to overcome this problem?
Well, I would say before 2018, there's less, you do not hear so much of the dumping, so much of illegal dumping, etc. I would say that it started with 2018, where China actually shut down the door for importation. Okay, so what happened is that the waste is actually diverted to regions like us. Okay, and then so what I can only advocate, very strongly advocate, would be enforcement. Yeah, to not to allow illegal importations, but there's a lot of DOE has done their part. I'm not saying DOE is not done. I would say that the schedule waste management and all those things, you know, I would say DOE has done a wonderful job as far as industrial waste is concerned. On the EPR, extended producer responsibility for household and all those things, DOE tried to back in 2010, 2011. But I think that you need to have a policy to ensure enforcement, okay? Otherwise, you still will not be able to do it. So for the Pelanduk part of it, I would say that, and many more, I would say that enforcement would be one of them. And it's not only DOE. I think it comes from different government agencies. Yeah. And including that also includes people like us, okay, as a community. You know, we also need to do our part. Yeah.
So for the next question from Faiza as basically, where is the raw material came from and how the residue being treated? Is it will be sent back to the provider?
Okay. First question, raw material source, right? 2 is how we treat it. Am I right? Okay, the source of raw material, I would say that we are actually getting them from, buying them, yeah, from the factories, the industries. Okay, before we can buy, before we bid for the waste, which is our raw material, these waste generators in this case are multinational companies. They will come and audit us. They will have a team of security from IP protection per se, commercial people purchasing, EHS environment. They have all these people who come and audit us, even though they want to supply us the waste, even though they want to sell us the waste. Now, it's very, very different. If you are a purchasing person in a factory, in a MNCs, you have a long list of raw material suppliers queuing to supply to you. But in this industry, recycling industry, my raw material suppliers are the waste generators. Even I got money, I may not be able to procure the waste. They will have to come and audit me before they can supply to me. even though we have good infrastructure, I may not be able to get the waste. That's how tough this industry is. We are actually in the procurement, but you got money does not mean that you're able to buy the waste to keep your production running. Okay, that's the first question. Question number 2, how do we treat the waste? If you follow me in the slides, you will notice that we try to work towards zero waste. So our chemicals first, you know, the process that we use to recover, to extract the metals, we have to make sure it's green. 2 is that the equipments that we have, we try to make sure that end of the day, it does not have a residual waste. For example, you remember my copper smelting line, my smart facility? My smart facility, the slag produced from the furnace has metal contents that is acceptable, way below what schedule waste is being classified. So we have to apply to DOE for the past 2 years, and we are still waiting for the approval. Okay, it's not easy. For our industry, it takes a long time. So, but we have to make sure our technology are good enough to make sure there's no waste being generated. Okay, now along the journey, definitely there's still waste generated, so it will be classified as SW501. So for 501, you have to send it to KA, quality alarm. Okay, so when we send, definitely we have to pay for the treatment costs and the transportation. Next question, please.
So next question, Chu Ping Chen asks, other than precious metals, the demand for rare earth minerals is also very high. Do you think the rare earth recycling is viable in Malaysia in terms of technology, profitability, and sustainability?
Oh, yes. The rare earth, if you look at it, for us, we have been, you know, okay, going back to the hard disk drive, yeah. Inside the hard disk drive, there's a magnet. The magnet has a rare earth, neodymium, Nd, okay? N, capital N, small d, yeah? So, so right now, I would say that we had done this maybe a decade ago, but then there were not many people who received this. You know, they want to embark into this. But today, I must say that the manufacturer of the magnet want this back. So we have to process it to a certain level and give it to them. Okay, we sell it back to them. Yeah. So at this moment, if you ask me, that is a very good question. Today, it is a global demand for recycled material. So what we would do is return it back to the what do you call that, to the maker itself. We work together with our customer to return it to the maker so that there's circularity. So there is, and it depends very much on the volume and the scarcity of the material. Okay. I think you've seen the earlier slide where I mentioned some of the more rare metals. We already have R&D breakthrough along that line already. Okay, next question.
So next question, Nia asks, in your opinion, are current ESG reporting standards sufficient to drive accountability and progress in e-waste recovery and management? Do you have any recommend improvement?
Can you repeat the question again?
In your opinion, are current ESG reporting standards sufficient to drive accountability and progress in e-waste recovery and management? Do you have any recommendation for improvement?
my personal opinion lah, I bukan pakar okay. I would say that the current ESG reporting standards at this moment, I think there are many platforms depending on who your customers are, right? Different customers will demand differently. So at this moment, I would say that we are basing on Bursa Malaysia standards. And down the road, for 2024 reporting, we will move along GRI standards. So until and unless everybody comes together and tell us, hey, what is acceptable, you know, by regions or by whatever. So if we are supporting European and American, you know, that kind of thing, then I have to follow. Just too bad I may have to follow what they want, because end of the day, customer is the king. That's the reason why I say we all have to stay relevant. We cannot say, oh, we in Malaysia hanya buat ini saja. Kalau kita buat ini saja, they need not buy from Malaysia. They can buy from other countries. So we have to always stay relevant and be ahead of the curve. So today, I'm very proud to say, as a Malaysian, we have built our names internationally. And right now, in fact, as we speak, we have also been invited by the American Chamber of Commerce to share the infrastructure in Malaysia, that kind of thing, to cater to their stakeholders. Okay, so indeed, Malaysia memang ada, okay, memang ada infrastructure. Okay, you have any questions?
So for the last question from Kenny Low. Hi madam, I am worried about the used EV car battery and used solar panel in the near future. Do you think Malaysia is ready to handle this big amount of e-waste?
Oh, I love this topic. Okay, you're talking about emerging industries, solar panel, and EV cars, right? So, is the infrastructure ready? Now, just to share with you our experience in the solar panel business, we have actually dived into this a couple of years back on the solar panel manufacturing facilities. We have extracted selenium, tellurium, cadmium, and we have even come up to the technology, what kind of equipment we want to be brought in. So we have actually sent the finished goods to their raw material supplier. Unfortunately, they were dragging their feet, and I heard that they want to set up in Malaysia. Okay, so it is always something that we have to keep fighting. Yeah. And number two, on the EV cars. Now, on the EV cars itself, today everybody is talking about EV. What happens if there is going to be hydrogen instead of EV? Okay, there will be a technology change. But nevertheless, you are foreseeing there could be a trend of EV cars, and there must also be a trend of there must be a downtrend of using less of the gasoline cars and increase in the obsolescence of gasoline cars. What happens to all these cars then? Is the infrastructure ready in Malaysia to cater to this? Right? Here, infrastructure refers to, you must have it's not only dismantling line, it's not only the segregation line, it's also the smelting line, it's also extraction of the precious metal line. So what we are advocating would be we are very willing to set up a facility in Malaysia, okay, because we already have the aluminum furnace, we already have the facility to extract precious metal, we have the facility to extract the copper. Only thing is, if we establish an infrastructure solely for EV, you can have an infrastructure, but EV cars can only solely picking up. Even if it picks up, you can only cater to the EV manufacturing plant because the EV cars obsolescence will not be there so fast, all right? So what we are also proposing to the government, allow us to set up a facility. While we set up a facility that takes care of the EV cars and its components, allow us to, we can also handle the obsolescence of the gasoline cars. But in the meantime, because of the EV cars are slowly only picking up and slowly scrapping, will not be scrapping so fast, and there will not be sufficient raw material to cater to the capacity that we are going to set up, allow us to import the clean waste. So this is something that, yes, we have already proposed to the government, okay? Because we have to see to what extent we can actually support the government in terms of infrastructure. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for the government to enforce the policy, just like the household e-waste, right? If you look at the historical trend of the household e-waste, 10 years ago, we're already talking about that. JICA has already spent lots of money giving us the grants. Shampunam itself has actually invested in the refrigerator household e-waste recycling plant, but today it's sitting idle in Negeri Sembilan because of the policy has yet to be regulated. And since there's no enforcement, there will not be volume, right? So the area of concern is not so much of infrastructure, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the infrastructure. It is the supply, the continuous supply of raw material. That is our pinpoint for this industry. Any other questions?
I think that is all for the questions. Thank you everyone for actively participating in the Q&A session. Now we can proceed with the video presentation. Miss Emily, you may proceed.
No sound, no sound.
If we continue to strip the Earth of its 6 finite resources, it is threatening our very existence. Yet, there is a simple solution. The 7th resource: recycling or urban mining. Shanpurnam Metals is the pioneer and leader in hazardous waste management. Incorporated in 1960, it started as a waste collection center and has today grown to become the regional leader in industrial hazardous waste with environmentally sound management facilities. Shanpurnam Group of Companies is an associate company of Senviro, which Khazanah Nasional wholly owns. The group has invested over 130 million ringgit with facilities in East and West Malaysia and employs some 500 well-trained and dedicated personnel with comprehensive expertise in the industry. Its waste management strategy is driven by the 5 R's green concept: reduce, reuse, recycle, recover, and refining. Due to the modernization, recycling and recovery are directly related to customers' asset management and IP protection. With that in mind, we set up stringent security protocol to follow the authorized route using dedicated trucks with GPS, which adopts a geofencing system with real-time tracking. Security Seals management system is in place. Security seals are verified against shipping documents before breaking of seals by security. Scraps with IP protection such as hard disk drive, PCBA, integrated circuits, and other e-waste may go through scanning, demanufacturing process that includes data wiping, crushing, and smelting. Inline process samplings are also performed for analysis and benchmarking against actual value. It subsequently undergoes pyrometallurgy using state-of-the-art top submerged lance furnace with SCADA technology, which is the technology of choice for optimal recovery above 99%. At the copper refinery, copper cathodes with 99.98% purity are produced through the electrolysis process. Also, by adopting the hydrometallurgy process using customized equipment, we optimally recover platinum group metals, that is, gold, platinum, palladium, and silver, up to 99.99% purity. Shanpurnam is the first prescribed premises licensed by DOE to manage metal chips and articles contaminated with spent coolant under Schedule Waste Code 422. Our patented furnaces with auto-stacking machine are used to manufacture high-grade RoHS-compliant secondary aluminium ingot, which meets international standards and is backed by the Air Pollution Control System. These eco-labeled ingots are then supplied to automotive, oil and gas, medical, and hard disk drive industries. The electronic and related industry generates enormous volumes of sludge, acid, alkaline, and solvent. This toxic and hazardous waste is well managed in Shanpurnam by its high technology and specially trained human resources and transported using specially designed tankers. Distillation, electrolytic, ion exchange, chemical polishing, and precipitation are used for recovery processes. Its residual waste is subsequently treated in its integrated wastewater treatment plant. Recognizing people are our greatest asset, we envision investing our profit into training. Shanpurnam's R&D team is blended with top chemists, engineers, and environmental health and safety personnel who consistently strive for continuous improvements. Its state-of-the-art lab facilities meticulously analyze end products to ascertain they effectively meet customers' and industry's expectations and standards. Shanpurnam's environmentally friendly manufacturing practice and high quality control standards have earned its certification in ISO 14001, ISO 9001, ISO 45001, TAPA Certificate for Security Requirement, and TAPA Trucking Security Requirement. Its total commitment towards continuous improvement in environmental protection and conservation using advanced green technology, producing green products, promoting circular economy, has been recognized with the highest award in the country, namely the Prime Minister's Hibiscus Award for both the Environmental Performance and Special Project category on Environment and the MITI Industrial Excellence Award. Shanpurnam Metals Sendirian Berhad, your partner of choice in hazardous waste management. ENS, Environment, Nature, Society. Together we progress towards a cleaner, safer, and greener world.
So now, moving on to the next part, we will be having an exciting session for the participants. Please get your mobile phone to enter the quiz. You can also scan the QR code that is shown on the screen. Good luck, everyone. Winner of this quiz will be given prizes. So do make sure you are trying your best. We give you all 2 minutes to enter the quiz. To enter. Now, we will proceed to start the quiz. The winner for this quiz is Emperor. Congratulations. To the winner of this session, please contact our team later. Before we end our last session, all participants are required to turn on your cameras for our last photography session with Madam Rose Kwan. Please remember to switch your layout on the top right corner of your screen to the grid layout. Okay, get ready everyone. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. One more time. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you. Towards the end of the photography session, it remarked our last session had ended. Once again, a big thanks to Madam Rose Kwan for the insightful talk and everyone for participating in this session. The attendance link will be open for 15 minutes only. Please ensure you fill it in within the given time. The link is available in the chat box. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed today's session and we are excited to see you again in next Friday's session. Before we end, do remember to fill up the attendance provided in the chat box. You can also scan the QR code on the screen. That concludes the third day of IFNSC 2024. Thank you everyone for your active participation throughout the day. Quick reminder to everyone, the theme for next Friday's webinar is Industrial Effluent Treatment. The meeting's link will be blast on WhatsApp group. Please be alert and attend next Friday's session. With that, I end this meeting today and participants who have filled the form may leave the meeting now. Now, we will continue with a video of the introduction of Rakan Alam Sekitar UiTM student chapter. Thus, good job everyone. We have done our first week of webinars today. With that, I end this meeting today and participants who have filled the form may leave the meeting now. Thank you and have a nice day.